As he said, my name is Bill Baldridge, and I have a nonprofit organization. It's called You Are Worth It. I was in a car wreck, and me and two friends were out late drinking, and this was whenever I was 22 years old, which is like a year and a half ago. It was 20 years ago, and both of my friends lost their lives. I ended up being in the hospital for almost 2 years, trying to save my leg. I lost my foot in the wreck. You're supposed to do the opposite. Now, smell of it. No.
I know better than that.
You know better than the smell of it. But I came from a normal background. I was an athlete. But I learned as a young man that I really liked to party. I liked to drink. And all I ever wanted to do was play football for LSU. But the partying kind of became more important than that. And whenever I was a senior in high school, I actually had an opportunity to go and visit the campus at LSU and see about walking on to play football. I didn't even call them because I knew that whenever I should have been preparing, I was out partying. And that's one thing that I share with kids because they need to know that the decisions that they make, it's going to affect the rest of their lives. And that's something that I regret. And I don't want them to have the same regrets that I had. I was really irresponsible. We didn't even think to have designated drivers. And we were just careless with our lives. And I want our kids to know that their lives are so much more valuable than that. They're too valuable to gamble with. I want them to know that their lives are valuable to us and their lives are valuable to God. When I started sharing my story, I just wanted to bring, like I said, some value to my friends' lives. But these kids really, really were responding. And so I started telling them, that they're valuable and important and they can accomplish anything through hard work and determination. And many of these kids act like that's the first time anybody's ever told them that they're valuable. Their reaction is it's bigger than me. It's bigger than me. And the only way I can describe it is like God's love being poured out on them, just by showing them a little bit of care and attention and love. And that drew me into a personal relationship with Jesus and made me realize my purpose. I don't believe that God put me in that situation. My own decisions put me in that situation, but he loved me enough to take his hand off of me until I got in a situation where I had no other choice but to turn to him. And he was standing there waiting with arms wide open, realizing my purpose and seeing how these kids are responding. I felt like I needed to do something else. I needed to do more. If you saw me before, that's how you saw me. I was in a chair with one leg, a little more robust. Y'all saw on those pictures that I had a lot of trauma, a lot of skin grafts on that leg, right? So where they cut my leg off, the bone goes down like, let's say the bone went this far, but my nub went down this far. So whenever I'd pick my nub up without my leg on, I'll try to visualize this. You could actually see the bone poking up underneath skin graft skin. And if you don't know about skin graft skin, it's like soft, and it's not as strong as your regular skin. So every time I would start wearing my leg or try to start stretching out my hips, I would always start getting a sore there. And I would have to quit wearing my leg and for a couple of months, and then by that time I'd be so discouraged it'd take me 2 or 3, 4, 5 years to try again. And that went on for 20 years. So I went on my Facebook channel, my YouTube channel, and I announced that I was going to walk for the first time in 20 years. Whenever I started getting a sore on this side about 3 weeks in, I started freaking out because I'm like, this is the same thing that's happened every other time. I'm going to have to quit wearing my leg. I'm not going to reach my goal. My goal was to walk at least a few steps before the 20th anniversary of my wreck, which was October 19th of 2016. Where the red arrow is the mark where I started getting a sore about 3 weeks in. After my mother-in-law prayed for me, where my index finger is where the bone is now. I'm proud to say that I met my goal by 9 days, and I hadn't had any sores since. All because of God. So what I'm doing now is I go and I visit schools, and these kids are responding like crazy, but we can't talk about God in schools. So the plan is to hit several schools or a big school and then have a youth rally either that evening or that weekend or soon thereafter and invite the kids from the school to the youth rally. And what we do is we call it Yahweh Mania, because that's You Are Worth It is the name of our nonprofit. We call it Yahweh. And Yahweh Mania is kind of a spinoff of WrestleMania. I used to like to watch wrestling whenever I was a young man. Not so much anymore. But I kind of do professional wrestler impressions that I grew up with a little bit. But we have bands come and play, and we feed the kids and love on them. And then I get local pastors to close in prayer and do the altar call. And just trying to make those connections with the kids and introduce them to who they're being drawn to. And it's powerful. I can't believe God's used me in this way. It's just amazing. I'm going to show y'all one of my impressions. Ric Flair says, to be the man, you got to beat the man. As a Christian, he'd say, to be the man, you got to meet the man. Woo! And the man I'm talking about is the crown of thorns wearing, miracle working, disciple having, heart healing, sin forgiven, one and only Son of God. And he's having a good time keeping the devil down. Woo! Now give me 2 claps and a hallelujah, hallelujah for Jesus Christ. All right.